That's cool. That's neat. That was fun. Let's go this way. The cogitator's vid screen is covered with cracks. Awaken this bad boy. Groans and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually machine spirits do grant you access. Okay, request data on the station's navigators. Felic Orselio, location main hall, status alive. Theobald Orselio, status alive. Calamira, deceased. Everyone else deceased. Okay, so there's 2 alive. The child, location upper chambers, biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated blood pressure. Oh, attention! Calming procedures advised. Attention! Upper chambers inaccessible. Error! Control rod is not present. Examine the log. Data crypt. Yeah. The archive data stored to the cogitator's local data crypt. View report. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated in lower levels. Chambers A to D are unpowered. Tech Priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Request back. Officer H13 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression in the living quarters. We have located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior Stations Officer, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming our signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was sent in the first place. The rescue team is not coming. We're on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone! If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. View the encrypted data. Yeah. Tech use, 100%. Easily bypassed. Many of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of the purge protocol. Child delete, picked flow, disable access code, annul station controls. Great. Self-destruct command. Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support systems, but Keeper Theobald has not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that what? Examine entries of the incident log. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. The negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It's imperative that we increase the new retainers resistant to the child's powers. Data expunged. Identity confirmed. Regent Aranto or Celio. Data visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Data departure classified. Warning, damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, H24 detected. Living quarters totally screwed. Everything's a mess. Call for help. No. Switch to the main chamber controls. Open all doors on the level. Continue. Warning, data corrupted. Processing. Uh-oh, what the shit? The passage has been opened. Oh, cool. All right. Processing query confirmed. Okay. Step away.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Awareness.
The premonition runs true.
So that's the exit to the entire area. Is there anything? No, this is kind of it,
What
huh?
lies beyond?
All right, forward we go.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we got reagents, sears my nostrils, and broken glass underfoot. It's a mess. Data, another KO4. All right, sure. We'll take it. Whatever. Goods. Goods. I love goods. More flesh samples? Hell yeah. More goods for me.
Curiosity sings in my veins. Genius triumphs.
Okay. Open door? Oh, hey, what's going on, Lady Cassius Medicae?
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Research note, part 12. More and more servants are being influenced by the immaterium. It has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale Dynasty. I strongly recommend finally grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstance. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic. Oh, and one more thing. The tech priest blessed the data crypt H41 OK for a calculated number of chrono turns. Which means it's no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. The data crypt H40KO manufactured over the course of our research. I should remind the technocrats to deliver this sacred mechanism to Magus Dioctius capable hands. Yeah, okay, sure.
They will see. Oh, yes. They all will see.
Experimental section, child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representatives in the Imperium. Test subject exhibits signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretions, tears, and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. The individuals with the greatest resistance to the sacred child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds to the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. The subject's final shouts exhibited concerns over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. Subgroup, low-board female. The test subject died within an hour of entering the laboratory adjacent to the child's chamber. Most had their tongues bitten off or their jaw badly dislocated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Cause of death, severe injuries, head injuries caused by impacting the wall or floor. Subgroup, a paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to shock caused by a manufacturing accident, male. Test subject noted a tingling sensation in the deteriorated tissue during reagent Arantorcelio's visit to the child. The test subject smiled and started humming, most likely trying to carry some plebeian tune, and then attempted to address the servant who brought him food. A lengthy conversation was prohibitive due to the servant's lack of tongue. Defective offspring of Lord P. Orsilio, pronounced unfit for study in the high art of navigation, owing to mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augments that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind, female. The test subject mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. On the 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Cantorelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. Okay. Please, I lost their minds. Don't kill me. Uh-huh. So I'm assuming I need to use 41. Not acid. I don't have any reagents. Interesting. Do I need to make a reagent? Mutated, no, that sucks. Flesh sample. Navigator flesh sample. Probably should be using that, right? So then I have... I don't have a reagent. So what do I... I gotta transduce something? Lump of raw ore. They said the crystal, right? Right, and now I have crystal dust. I think that's what they said. Boy, I hope so, because that should be crazy. I don't... That worked? I don't know. Fragments of scales. Oh, no, I don't want that. Webbed fingers. No, I don't want that shit. I want normal flesh. Okay. All right. For some reason, Navigator made sense to me. I was like, oh, a Navigator, of course. But that's not at all what I want. Activate the device.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Oh, okay. So I can't do anything with that? That's it? We're done? That was it? Okay, well, that sucks. I kind of want to know what that would have been. All right, we'll keep going. What would that have been? What was the reward for that if I had gotten it right? It would have been a potion? Like a good potion?
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Okay, so I got the... Is there a like a direction I'm supposed to be going? It's this way, right? Or am I wrong? It's the other way.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Oh, there matters more. Oh, that's return to void ship. Oh, is this the elevator? Of course it is. But I have the rod. Do I have to have it equipped?
One step at a time amidst the madness.
Okay. You dealt with a threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost the mistress her life. The crossroads. Their two paths both stained with blood, both leading to the cursed eye. They all wear masks so poor and flimsy they fought the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Tell me more. I cannot say one is paved in blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like most. Okay, who's who? My whispers are giggling nastily. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the masks is your concern. Everything's clear now. This station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psyker. Keep the key. Care to explain yourself, scion of the Van Valensis dynasty? What's the meaning of this? The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses that I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. Who is the child? Oh, that's good. You meddled with something that should have been left alone. The child is what the station servants called Lady Cassia. For the commoners' dirty mouths must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it's not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove more useful when they are still able to speak. The madmen I fought were convinced we were all traitors. That's why they're insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dared to raise their hand against the scions of noble bloodline? Hey, the servants alone, man. Do you really think mere servants could plan a coup? The senior officers are just as guilty. Half my guards butchered one another because they suspected treason. As for the real culprit, the coup was staged by those closest to the mistress. Yeah, destroying the shuttles, shutting off the power. As I'm sure you're aware, there are two keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct, Theobald Orsilio, the demented old fool, obsessed with Lady Cassia and her power. And also the one to blame for the woes that befallen Iraq 5 and our noble line. I listened to the recording of private conversation between the station's officers. You were very lenient towards them, purposely neglecting the security protocols. I was lenient, this is true. And in the end, I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. I saw the captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station's systems, but Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed, or maybe after, or... You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left? By the God, Emperor, you will keep these slanderous accusations to yourself. I'm certain you're the one behind this coup. Coup. Said every word but the right one. I suppose it's time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you found me. But did you really expect me to be sincere this entire time? To welcome with open arms an ally of Tisiphone and her monster? The accursed child who has tormented the navigators of House Ocilio for years? Don't make me laugh. You've arrived to help her completely destroy our house, and I cannot let that happen. You're obviously quite mistaken. I came here to get myself a navigator, nothing more. Yeah, this one. You're pissing me off. You do not? In that case, accept our sincere apology for the deception in my early behavior. I had no intention of making an enemy of Von Valancius Air, nor the destroying of the station that served my home for many years. They left me no choice. You cannot even imagine what monster lurks in the upper chambers, an evil, a plague, a pestilence on our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Ocilio from within. And Theobald and his followers, just mindless fanatics serving this evil. Lady Cassia is a sign of a merciless tyrant. But it is not her relation to Tisiphone that's terrifying. She is a monster whose power drives servants insane in mere turns. A cursed child who can kill a navigator from the Ocilio bloodline with just a look. I must have this cursed child. Perhaps you are engracing yourself to me, hoping to let down my guard. It must have been terrible to live under a monster's yoke. If the monster's death will convince you, if your cursed child agrees to become a navigator, I'll gladly rid you of this burden. Seems like another lie. Tell me, do you ever speak the truth? I don't know what to do here, because part of me just wants to kill him for the sake of killing him. But the other part of me thinks maybe it's worth just saying, we'll take the child off your hands. You do not understand. This is... You are correct. This may work. It certainly is possible. You're going to need this charm. If you manage to press it against the monster's skin, whether by force or by guile, the baleful influence of her powers will recede. You'll be able to take her and leave the station. Pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed like with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet, misted eyes. I love her already. She's perfect. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden behind a jeweled ornament. And when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. Yes, willpower succeeded. You're enveloped in despairing grief. An invisible hand closes around your throat, but I'm A-okay. Ow, ow, ow! As if my own little pals weren't bad enough, now this one's barging into my head. Someone stop her! Heresy! Yes, persuasion! Lady Cassia, please! What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you, who are you? Vorgan von Valancius, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pardon my manners, Vulcan. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. Uh-oh. The child. Lady Cassia, where are you, sacred child? Throne, preserve! You! My eyes fail me, for they're unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move. No, it's cool. It's cool, we're friends. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged, it's making the Whispers shriek like crazy. He might open that eye of his. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offense, esteemed whoever you are. Yeah, I'm just trying to determine what's happening. Nice. I'll grant that you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of the wreck station, or like scoundrels in Felix service. So who are you? Rogue trader. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy. How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful. And so House Orsilio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or enemy. No, it's chill. It's chill. What service? Save the sacred child. Take her away from the station. I fear I do not have long left. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Oronto, acting head of House Orsilio in the Coronis Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Not me. Such a fragile thing and such a heavy burden upon her shoulders. I want to know what happened. Felic is my wayward student. He came to Uruk 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and trusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to reveal in power what others like him, casting our house into the abyss. Oh, to revel in power. To avert centuries-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of our greatest of our Novators. Tisiphone? Orsilio has led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy, the renegades clouded his mind. Okay. So choose. No, all right. Is that so? Last thing I need is a monster on my ship. Cassia should remain here. I should bring Cassia to Felic as promised. Felic is the true monster. Let's do away with him together. Yeah. Allies are always welcome, even temporary ones. I will revive the child. Do not be alarmed. The power of House Orsilio's heir will help us destroy our enemies and shield us from Felic's navigator forces. But you, rest for a time before battle. I see you, goods. I see you, goods. Goods. Okay, so
Curiosity
back down we go in order to
sings in
fight
my
and murder. Is that the
veins.
vibe? To fight and murder. Yes, come, let's go kick everyone's ass. Nice. Rogue traitor, you treasonous worm! I knew I should have killed you! That's enough, boy. You betrayed the child, our house, and Phony herself. Surrender. I'm the savior of our house, and I am prepared to pay the ultimate price. Kill them!
What
Damn!
an amazing attempt at defiance.
Get my characters into position.
Follow my lead.
Good shot, buddy.
Follow my lead.
Yikes. Okay.
Will do.
Oops, sorry. He's fine. He was used to that. He's chill. He's good.
My faith strengthens me. Weapon at the ready. For the glory of the Imperium.
Faith without
Well, that guy's, you know, that's his problem. Hey, one of them dead. That's good. Yes, ooh, delightful.
What? Ha! No!
Line of sight. Come on, man. I'll line of sight you.
Even I won't do that. I'm powerless to act.
Sure. Okay.
doubt is for the...
Okay.
A genius at work.
Damn! That guy's super dead.
Moving out!
Indeed. I will do my duty. At your beck and call.
Follow my lead.
Nice shot.
Break them around.
Not bad, not bad. Don't try to whisper at me, dude.
Follow my lead. Follow my lead.
Was that you? Or
The body.
I was about to say, that guy's gonna be dead, so we'll deal with the rest of them.
Let's see.
Yo!
Shattered.
Diabolical! Yeah.
Rejoice in battle. As the Emperor commands. I'll do it. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Faith without deeds is worthless.
I tried.
Power resides in the will of the righteous. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act.
One of them has to hit. I believe in this dream. I know 20%, but like, all right, we can keep.
I will not.
follow
Damn
my
him.
lead.
Damn him in his hiding ways.
What? No. A wicked thought.
Weather the storm.
My place is at the fore. Victory is imminent.
There we go. There we go. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
At your beck and call.
And that.
I must not falter.
Stay vigilant.
Cover me. Not this scryer's job. That is not my destiny. Nor can do.
Okay, well,
Be careful not
not
to
the greatest
cross my
positioning,
gaze.
but okay.
I'll do it.
Girl?
Faith without deeds is worthless.
That did nothing. I just wanted to see if that would do anything, and it did nothing. Love that. Love
Shattered
that.
foes in my wake.
Alright.
Schemes within schemes.
An exemplary strike.
Let's see.
Onward!
Indeed.
That works.
Now, this is your burden, child. Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
No! Don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me?
Damn, that's crazy.
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Sign a contract on take to serve navigator. Let us aid one another, yes.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Your Act 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio. Accompanying a rogue trader on their travels is an honor for any navigator. Let us go. I can no longer bear the sight of the deathly pale shadows that drape the bodies of the fallen.
Excellent. Welcome aboard the team. Uh-oh. Right. Yo! Hold on now.
What lies beyond?
The hell? We have so much stuff now? Corrupted Infernal Pistol, but I have to have 35 strength in order if I want to use that thing. But that's good. That's not too terrible.
In this tapestry of
Does
a world,
something trouble you, Lord Captain?
I am the rogue friend.
Well, all right. So what's your deal, my dear? So you are also a bring it down and a voice of command and a persuasion. So you're kind of like me. Is that what I'm learning? You're another me. All right, we'll do willpower. Blood augury. Enemies damaged by the navigator suffer 10% additional damage from any source of warp damage. Every even turn, the navigator gains an additional action point. Every enemy the navigator has in their line of sight has its dodge and hit chance reduced by 5? And that's just like a passive? Navigator starts all turns, including extra turns with +3 additional movement points. What the hell? Offensive. Is there like a origin talents? Warp features. Warp. The warp. Oh my god, there's just so much. Veil of protection, unblinking. The tonicity of our city. Strange vitality. Open to the warp. It's just all weapon stuff. All right. Enemies damage the navigator is 10%. Open to the warp. Perilous ways. Unblinking stare. Enemies damaged by the navigator suffer an additional 5 damage from all attacks of opportunity and cannot dodge them. Interesting. I mean, I kind of like this. So we shall use it. Okay. What's your deal? Oh, you're so good. We need to change that. Okay. Here's the real question. What is your gear like, my dear? Armored body glove. What happened to all my other... oh, hold on. Got a lot of stuff. Okay. Let's look at armors. Improved Enforcer Light Carapace. That I feel like should go to my dude. Well, that's the Seneschal's trusty carapace. But... armor deflection +1 on this, though. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And this is the dodge penalty. We have the armored... I mean, like, could I use this? Could I snooch this? I mean, it's the same thing. It just would look different. Doesn't really do anything different. I just get to look cooler. Which I'm fine with, actually. All right, and then... sure. Great. We'll give you that. Okay. Weapons and guns and things. Navigator-based weaponry, huh? And we got House of Staff of House Orsilio. We also have another the exact same thing. And another the exact same thing. Okay. Well, that's the Guardian. That's a 4/8, and that is Strike. But the willpower and perception is still the same thing, so what does it matter? Although strike count goes up by 1. Nope, not really. Interesting. So this one actually should be the one that goes here. Yes, yes. Now he has a cool little revolver thing. Well, that's fun. An auto gun. What do you have? Oh, you got just a better thing all around. Okay. Knock back enemies. All right, maybe. Okay.
only that were possible.
Yeah, no, I hear you. If only. Okay.
Not the
Nope.
Scryer's job.
Not her either. Okay. Okay. Every time the wearer deals damage, the target's weapon skills and ballistic skill is reduced by... Okay, what is this? Chance to hit. Critical... boy. Oh, boy. Tactical goggles. Hell yeah. Okay. Look at us. All tactical. Okay. I don't care about that right now. I like my Inferno pistol. It makes me happy. I'll give this to you. Enjoy. All right. All right. Come, my evil friends. Oh, actually, hold on.
I am at your service. Oh, careful now.
Gotta get rid of his old wound. All right. Actually, is there like all this shit can go into, like, I don't need to keep all this out, right? I could just send it to, oh no, I can't add some of this to cargo. Add to cargo. Is there like a add the crappy things to cargo button? Does that exist? The ones that are from the quest, can I just throw these away? What do I do with these? That are clearly quest-related items for this place. I can just toss them? Anyway, moving right along.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate
We'll
treaties
see.
on Tactica Imperia
Oh, yes,
and weigh every
indeed.
step.
They all
Sometimes, though, we
will
just fire your
see.
biggest cannon and save the day.
I love how I'm getting some, like, solid advice that my guy's like, yes, oh. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. Oh wait, no, wrong voice. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first... Uh-oh. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breath becomes short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of the sudden wave of unease. First, I wish to speak with the road trader. Leave us. Okay. Of course. When you're ready for the ritual, please let me know. This big line here is not the greatest thing in the world. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigdis, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. Then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend me during journeys through the Immaterium and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now, I'm ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Okay. Yeah, I should ensure you shall have it. I shall make leave for you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me, for you can survive the gaze of my warp eyes when it's opened. Okay. I won't. Good luck. Have fun. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor's light help us all. It's fine. I'm not even stressed. It'll be great. Not even worried. What's the worst that could happen? The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up these susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clicking of implants. And a serene voice, then the Lady Navigator breaks all the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. Go. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and amber shadows spinning over the surface in fiery dance, a storm rising above foaming waters, armadas drowning in fog, the path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No, of me. Frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I've never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection's restored now. It'll not happen again. The Vox Masters, see to it that you receive 5 lashes. Leave her undisturbed. Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Novus are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain. Their throats raw from the strain, and then sudden silence. A dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. Oh, okay. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite. As it was for her predecessor, I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what's left of them. Damn! Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas. dividing what should be the whole in two. My sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers, recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report the condition of the station, Iraq 5. Had you opted to begin your visit in the Rycan system with different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Unfortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of Navis, Nobilite, bought us precious time. We need either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. What does this... Okay, scrap container. Profit extractor. I would love to expand. That tells me... Oh, right. Value of the road trader's warrant of trade and the opportunities and resources you can call upon. Granting you 100 scrap. I don't know what that does for me. So we're gonna go loot everything. Nice. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we're still looking for Engine Seer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of an oversight by an experienced tech priest. We're also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not located Heinrichs van Calix, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not at Uric 5, so we should keep this in mind when making any future plans. Thank you, that'll be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. So we have an Astro, and I can't go back here, right? Like, we did this, we're done. There's nothing else there. All right. Let's go, what is this? Astropathic Station. I mean, we could go here. But there's also an unidentified void ship, and that's fun. Rycad Majoris. We could go there. That's interesting. What is the Astropathic Station? I simply don't know. Lord Captain? There's some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you could find out what brought Cassie on the deck? Sure, okay. Hey, what's up?
Okay. Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Uric 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Okay, do my servants not measure up to your standards? No, I don't care about that.
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Excellent. Yeah.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis Nobilite.
It wasn't
I did not
Nobilite,
need
it was
your words to see
Nobilite.
the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near.
Well, now I know how to say that.
Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting. No, it is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Ooh. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment of her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The natural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising then that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. Okay.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
There's nothing to apologize. Human emotions are natural. Quite right. So I'd ask you mind, don't do that from now on. Indeed, difficult for me to feel empathy for a mutant. I believe conversations recent... No. We gotta go with number one.
Lord Captain? So many colorful sparks are flaring to life and dimming all around you. It is a veritable ocean of emotions. There are so many of them that I can barely see the pure white sincerity of your words. Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urac 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I'm not in the habit of finding amusement at the expense of others. No. Especially one who has captivated me since I first laid eyes on her. That's not bad. This one is a little too forward. I want to corrupt them, not sleep with them. I want to turn them all into creatures of pure terror.
Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
Sure. Hey, I started a romance! Hell yeah, give me that mutant romance! Surely maintain expression of polite indifference. Cassia covers her face. Yes. With a mutant. I need to make everyone terrible creatures. Hey, bing bong. Everyone leveled? Hell yeah. With the power of smooches, everyone leveled. Blood of Martyrs. Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, That ally gains temporary wounds. Interesting. Focus! Whenever an officer uses an ability on an ally, that ally gains a bonus to their perception and ballistic skill. Yeah? Whenever an officer targets an ally with an ability for the first time in a round, that ally gains 3 temporary wounds. Whenever an officer targets an ally with an action... Okay, you know what? Honestly, I either want Focus or Blood of Martyrs. Heroic Act. An ability on an ally. We can use Focus. Yeah, that works. I like that. That's fun. That's neat. And then more Fellowship? Is it possible to just crank it up to 11? I think someone earlier said it was out of 100. So, like, yeah, what if I just keep going? What if I just keep, like, very Fellowship? Yeah, I love that. Yeah, okay. All right, what does she have? She also has Focus in the things. Blood of Martyrs, commanding voice, Focus! Whenever officer targets an ally with an action, Steel Resolve. The officer's resolve is increased by 3. Characters can fight in a battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn, killing an enemy. Yes. Okay, and then willpower. Love that for us. Okay. Reckless Strike. Sworn enemy. Warrior marks a target, gaining 22 armor and 6 damage on melee attacks against that target, dude? Well, that's what I'm doing. And then I have the awesome power of athletics or not. By the toughness characteristic. And again, this is just athletics in general. We have a 50 in that, but let's go here. Hit him with the C. Complete. Okay. My dear, what is going on with you? Let's do agility. And then controlled shot. They're about to open fire. Soldier and allies will automatically dodge the soldier's next attack. That's fun. That could be useful. Sure. Sure. Just so I don't blast people's faces off like usual. Exposed weakness costs 0 AP. That's not bad. Also reduces enemy's toughness and willpower by 9 for 1 round. I can't. Let's start here. We'll do the no AP next time, I guess. So we're at 55 for that and 33 for that, huh? Let's bump perception. All right. What an unsanctioned psyker you are. Secrets of gallant conduct, how to express your feelings to a noble lady. I can't believe this is here. An admirer who seeks the favor of a refined lady is well advised to maintain pointed courtesy and finesse in his every deed. An honorable admirer will never defile a noble lady's ears with crude or indecent words, and neither will he allow himself conduct that will besmirch her honor or dignity. Above all, admirers should remember that a relationship begins with the right choice of words. Shower your lady with compliments that will accentuate her finest qualities without putting her in a position of discomfort. A word chosen elegantly and spoken with genuine warmth may bring about change in a lady's eyes as she looks upon you. Once your interaction has grown more intimate, always be sure to remember the simple rules of etiquette. For example, should the lady drop her handkerchief, the deepest expression of sympathy for her would be to perform the following gesture. Pick up the handkerchief, wait for a brief moment, then bring the handkerchief to your lips and touch it lightly before returning it to the lady. This noble gesture will show the lady of the seriousness of your intentions. Remember that the flower bud of true feelings takes time to blossom. Patience, loyalty, and impeccability in adhering to the decorums nobility is key to earning a lady's favorable disposition. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. I don't know all about that. When the lady gets a big-ass tentacle, remember, spank that thing. Spank lest ye be spanked. Tentacles. Hello. Let us continue. Actually, can I go back to the ship? How do I go back to the ship? I can't click on it, can I? Bottom side of the ship on the bottom of the screen. Oh, back to bridge. Ho, 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 thank you. Honestly, I just thought those were really cool looking. I was like, oh, what fun little visual things they added to this. It's a button. You can click on. I didn't know that. All right. Where is my other crew members with which to... I want to see if I can talk to them and kind of like get them all... Yeah, all right. Here we go. Dira? Let's just ask the questions.
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well, not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong, only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice. The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices, ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head. All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild.
All right.
I can't make out a thing.
All right.
Of course.
Whenever you're ready to get weird with it, you let me know. Okay. Let's continue on. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Members of a sacred cult operating aboard this ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves to their new captain. I am ready to receive them. I will commence preparations at once, Lord Captain. What? Okay, those on deck watching. Aw, some people are freaked out. Someone talking about the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. We obey still. Domin von Valancius. Death has whispered your name. We disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her. And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord.
Go on.
Proof of their devotion. We give you a blade, the silent verdict. The Undying One has chosen you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
I'll allow it. Hey, Lord Imperium check succeeded. You have heard many stories about death cults such as this one. These devoted holy assassins of the Imperium have turned death into a form of worship of the Emperor. They're exemplary slayers, invisible executioners. They're just great people all around. Perfect. Examine the cultists. The cultists are all voidborn. Their less sinewy bodies are clad in light armor, which allows them to move with an acrobat's nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift surety. Their red and black vestments are adorned with sharp spikes. Love that. Examine the captives. The prisoners cower. They're a bunch of different people. Word has been carved into each of their foreheads. Meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate, renegade. Yeah. It's better them than me.
These renegades committed treachery against their domin. Their lips once praised the name of Kunrad Voigtveer, but it is your name they will whisper as they cross over to the other side. The domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. We keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you. I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. The honor of this title is bestowed only upon those who have ushered more souls than... It is shameful to speak of one's own deeds. I'm here to become your shadow, not to make boasts.
Yes.
The tenets of the web teach us to read the threads of the future and understand the hearts of others. When a soul is filled with the poison of corruption, we know its time has come. We bring liberation. 3 strikes, 3 rebukes, 1 blade. This is how we serve the Undying One. This is how we serve you and your flagship. But there are others, the virtuous martyrs who contravene his design without realizing it. Those who have come too close to faltering or committing an apostasy, but have not erred yet. We present such souls to the Undying One.
And heretical.
Your name upon our lips.
Yes, yes, yes. Now why we brought this rabble to the upper decks?
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to order their execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One is death itself. The Undying One is duty itself. Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun web undergo the test of a sacred trial.
Give weapons to the traitors. Time for Kabbalah to prove herself. I will judge the traitors myself. I will judge the traitors myself means I'm gonna kill them? No. I want her to do it.
A dagger that has not sliced through sinew is nothing more than a toy. Let the final dance begin.
Oh, we just shot away somewhere. Okay, here we go.
Your Emperor won't save you!
Welcome his embrace.
Repent or perish!
Okay. Great, love this.
I serve the ruinous powers! Gah!
The shadows will see it done.
That's cool. That looked neat.
As honor ordains. Killing brings me no pleasure. I cannot serve you in this way. This goes against the tenets.
What is the line of sight? This movement does not provoke attacks, so it's interesting. All right, well, I'll be fine.
Chaos guides me! We bring deliverance.
An offering of blood.
Okay. Let's do,
I would that I could. As the tenets.
that works.
Come, the other side awaits.
That works.
Trust me, killing brings me no pleasure. The shadows will see it done. Come, the other side awaits. I will set them free.
Your Emperor won't save you!
As on our old day, death is a blessing.
You killed 3 enemies in 1 turn using a Death Waltz ability. Nice.
I will leave footprints of scarlet. The other side awaits. Trust me, death is a blessing. The other side awaits. As the tenets demand.
I love her. I love her. A cut to the heart, a cut to the throat, a cut to the stomach. These wounds have been inflicted according to his pleasure. The blood of the apostates will wash away the stain of their treachery, and so their souls may prostrate themselves before the undying one's throne and beg his forgiveness. I have acted with reverence and shown proof of my loyalty. Accept me? Hell yeah. Ah, your lordship. The spinners of the blood-spun web are watching, tracking, and killing Von Valencia's enemies long before the warrant of trade passed Lady Theodora. However, their blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. But I certainly do not in any way condemn the deeds of the deeply esteemed cult. I'm sure they must have good reason. The cultists are the scourge of seditious. They bring unrighteous to ruin. The enforcers respect the blood-spun web. We share common goal to bring his light. Yeah. Scourge of the seditious or not, folk are afraid of them for a reason. A couple of watches ago, these spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malik did to earn the privilege, though. He was going to, and who was going to feed his family now? No, I don't care what you think about that. My predecessor's predecessor once delivered a sermon about how the spinner saved the vessel from the servants of the archenemy. The blood-spun web paid the price with blood. River scarlet flowed. All right, yeah. You'll be my shadow. Henceforth, I am your shadow, Domin. An instrument of death placed in your hand by the Undying One. For so it was ordained, and so his tarot forspoke. I also come bearing an invitation from the Vizier of Bloodspun Web, who wishes to know that the doors of the Undying One's temple are open to you. Are you suggesting the Lord Captain should go down to the depths of his flagship to search for this temple? With all due respect, the lower decks are for servants and crew, not a fitting place for his lordship. Where's it located? I'm not permitted to say. If you wish to find the temple, you must first walk the path of Saint Ariane, the matriarch spider. Hers was the thread that would become the blood-spun web. The path began deep within the flagship in the dark tunnels of the freight line, and that is where yours must begin as well. This journey will bring you closer to the thread of the web, closer to the Undying One, closer to understanding death. I will walk in the footsteps. All right, the Vizier awaits you. Nice. Your blade awaits direction, Domin. We will speak again when the time is right. Okay, thanks. How big is this ship? From what I know of 40k lore, they're massive. Like, massive. Like thousands and thousands and thousands of people are aboard these ships. And my favorite part about it is that none of them really know how these ships work, which is great. That's my favorite bit of Warhammer 40k lore is that all the technology is really, really, really old, and none of them really know how to, like, you know, they don't they can't replicate anything really. So if it breaks, they just have to like patch it up and hope it works. Yeah. When something breaks, this guy shows up. This guy right here. Or is it this guy over here? One of them. Where'd he go? Where'd my boy go? They just pray over it like, come on, man, please work. And then like, it worked. All right. Can I still make it to here? Ah, the astropathic station is dead ahead in the void ship. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across the Vox frequencies. The lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl. Nice. Deploy a scouting team. The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous, astropath upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged, as it were, across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered in crust of psychic ice. A green-robed, blind old man sat motionless upon a tall throne. He's quite literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. Yeah, lore. Nice. Okay. Choir Master Vice boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man frozen in ice and held telepathic conversation with him. Then Master Vice, ooh, denial of nightmares. What the shit? Oh, wow. Okay. Upon return of the ship, Vice reverently presented the Lord Captain the Grim Trophy, the late Choir Master's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death. The psychic shriek carrying across the Immaterium has been silenced, but this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was masking a different sound, one even more terrifying and surreal. It was a melody of cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power, so immense the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into psychers' minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth, cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of Immaterium has reached the rogue trader's void ship too. I don't know. I'm like, Chad, I'm gonna need you to... I can have one romance. Can I start multiple romances? Oh, okay. Eventually, but like I can go down different paths, right? Let me ask you a question. As I go down these paths, will my descent into chaos change them in some way? Like, can I make my companions freaks? Freakish monsters? Okay, another question. If I continue down the path to make them freakish monsters, will I see their final freakish monster form before I have to choose? Like, I want to pick the grossest one. Like, whatever one I can really warp. No. Okay, well, you know, we'll see where we go. Right now, I got 3 ladies I want to really try to make freaky. The others, they're too religious for me. I don't think I can change them, and I'm not going to try. But the ones I can, if I can really get in their mind, that's going to be good. All right, yes. Order the station to be explored. Burn everything. I want to explore. Is this going to make us more crazy? A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found on in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half of the choir at once, turning the astropaths into living portals through which torrents of Immaterium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomicon's life. Light. Burn everything. Nice. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. We burn everything. Quest completed. That's cool. That's fun. 26 experience. Okay. What is this unidentified void ship? And can I go there? I would like to. Uh-oh. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seemed to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Worsarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Also, let me take a drink of this normal-sized soda in my giant man hands. This very normal, very average-sized soda. Yes. Oh, in my massive man hands. Don't question it. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of highborn brat out on a lock. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I apologize, sir, but I must speak to Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you've already seen fit to disturbing him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant of Event, requesting permission to speak on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. I will listen to what you have to say, Captain, Lieutenant, or whatever. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks in order to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. I'm convinced this step is unwarranted and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Oh boy. He glances at Sauerbach. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Worsarian and intervene in what's happening in the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or massacre on our hands. No one informed me about this? I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. Took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we are still battling rumors that the hero who survived his execution was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As the current situation, we have sufficient forces to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo of 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he'll quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I've already given you the means to resolve the problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did this all start? The situation could boil over any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who had been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up to chain of command immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. I shall explain. I beg you, hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There's an established order to the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of that system is the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It's the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I've always handled the problems myself, so of course, when I received information about cultists hiding in the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. As long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodore von Valencius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed. Arrest, interrogations, da-da-da-da-da, love all those things. It's driven the people to the brink. Now there's a strike in the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Yeah, Master-at-Arms, what's going on? Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize it's not within my right to challenge my superiors. That being said, while I entirely share Master Worsarian's opinion on the fate of on what fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Sawback. I see you have decided to follow Lieutenant's example. After all, such behavior does you no credit. Lord Captain, I swear that Seneschal Worsarian has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions, although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. And while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know at least a dozen fine officers whom Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure they continue to strive. Prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants to instruct them and to separate those with potential from those who've exhausted it. That's my duty as Seneschal. This ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers, and yet it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. These enforcers and officers whom he is deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Worsarian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record for fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from Master-at-Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to Lord Captain to object to the Seneschal's order. I notice a pattern in these actions. Mrs. Salbach, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior? Or one where I would overrule their order? Or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal. There have been no such cases in the entire time I've served aboard this ship. If anyone would claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your imminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. I see. That you distinguish some of them... Right. We know this. Evidently, my officers are anything but shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. It's home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served the specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled. But at worst, that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We should have done so again if cracking down on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located in one of the most popular decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect to the neighboring sectors. I see no need to add anything. I acted within my remit of my authority, guiding exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. You wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself? I have no objections. For my part, I urge Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to your people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. Yes, I will do that. Just that. Praise the Emperor. Thank you, Lord Captain. An enterprise bordering on this sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which led to your and Seneschal's involvement. I consider my duty to go to Depot for myself and see the expedient resolution of this incident. Now to use all my abilities. Ow. My right eye, there's like something in it, and it hurts so bad. Okay, let us go, my friends. Ooh, I haven't leveled up my oh, hold on. Hello, what do we got here? Be smart. Bloody mess. Anytime a Voidborn character scores a critical hit, there's a 10% chance to double the damage? Percent wounds. Just a flesh wound. What is this? To survive after suffering lethal damage. Crimson Tide. The Death Cult Assassin's allies deal more damage to enemies if both the ally and their target stand on blood-covered cells. Interesting. Each time the Death Cult Assassin parries or dodges an attack, all enemies in the blood-stained effect suffer 1 stack of this effect. Creature with blood-blessed or blood-stained effect gains +1 stack. Huh. Wounds. Effect each time it suffers damage from bleeding, burning toxin. Yikes forever. Okay. Let's do Blade Dancer immediately returns to the cell where they started from on their turn. That's fun. This ability costs 8 wounds to use. Blade Dancer selects an ally until the end of combat. Attacks made by the Blade Dancer against enemies who have already attacked the ally gain 15% crit chance. Interesting. So I could pick my tank if I wanted to. Blade Dancer targets a single enemy, vowing to dispatch their mark. Blade Dancer's next attack inflicts bleeding on all targets hit. These targets must pass the toughness. I like this. All right. And then, ooh, we can +10 to the awesome power of healing. That's not bad. but also athletics. Although I do have strong athletics, so I'm not too stressed about that. Demolition. Agility, huh? Sure, okay. Demolition it is. That's fun. That's neat. She seems like she's fine. And not at all a complete mess. I love her.
Yeah.
Lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. We need to get to the bottom of this.
There will be no peace in my wake.
I still do not see our
Ship
purpose in
run
coming
through the
here.
bays, this, that.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Valve, nope. I love to see how they live on the upper decks, even just once. Uh-oh. Hello? The sound of heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays, barring a path for superior master arms who arrived clad in armor, judging by expression, standoff and drag for some time. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I've given an order, now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. This is my deck and my sector. So long as the area remains under Lord Captain's special oversight, no action be taken without my express permission. There's only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down: the first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Your lordship. We encountered some locals on the way. Their conduct was outrageous. I give the assault unit permission to open fire. No. We will speak with the strikers. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
What's this way? Another valve I can't touch, but it lets me highlight it. That's interesting.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
How do I examine the pipe?
What lies
Look
beyond?
no further. Your seneschal is always there for you.
Massive bars, perhaps examining the pipe. Well, how do I do that? Gotta look at that pipe. Well, I'm trying to look at the pipe.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
I don't know mechanically how I would do this. Perhaps examine the pipe will allow you to reach it. Well, yeah, okay, how though? How does one examine the pipe?
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
I can't loot these goods? Okay, I'm about to say. Okay.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Dozen pair of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of lower decks and take their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange and outright grotesque. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. Tell me what's troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking, that's news to us, your lordship. All we are doing is asking questions, saying what we think.
Shut up, Ribbit. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heat and the whole base for a week at a time. So we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of these enforcers.
It's all true. Ben is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidst the hardships, or amidships, and has no fellow feeling towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here, we're honest workers, just servants. We plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Yes, the occultist heretics, sure. Occultist amulet, what's that? The Googal they found on the dead drunkard? If it's something evil forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know all our own people. There have never been new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. As for this amulet, whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when the fight broke out, some enterprising fools looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots were really fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers in the server motor. In the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them?
We were told, Holy Sister, but it was ages, it was long ago, ages even, I guess. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my 3rd little one.
That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of our holy fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of the amulets stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down upon himself? What changes do you want?
Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here.
You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots in the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop harassing us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies. We'll talk them one lower decker to another. If there's any more of these damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves.
Speak for yourself and your clan. I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They promise us the world now. But as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be back on us harder than ever.
Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons in untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Yeah. Old man, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us, is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole Depot 4 ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now it's not time for you stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old man. The three clans of Depot 4 ought act as one. We made up our minds. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that.
You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you're against an old woman. But I'll shut up, I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace.
That's great. Just fantastic, Lord Captain. We're all agreed. Yeah, sure. I expect you to help. Cargo removed. Fuel and provisions. Great.
Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this.
Of course, Your Lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Yes, that's right. Bow before me. My hope is that they're gonna go crazy and become like chaos. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Also, they're on my side, so when I become some sort of horrible monster, they're gonna be like, but that's the captain. We love the captain. I can only hope diabolical things will happen. Fingers crossed. Uh-oh. Yes. I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time a ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak havoc. I mean, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Yeah, let's talk about your role. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember Lord Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs to the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's a new Lord Captain. Damn, that's ruthless. I would be only too willing to trust my seneschal, not fill my head with such matters. The situation had spiraled out of control. You're right. At least it concerns junior officers making complaints directly to you. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity, the Von Valencius Protectorate, is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for a chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw Lord Captain Theodore's deeds, the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known, and come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodore entrusted me with all concerns she had no time for. She would go off on a flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. Then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like flimsy hanger on this seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what happened on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I'm not panicked or grieved because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I'm duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures. So much reading. Set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. I understand you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord and Commander. Accept it and start living in a new world, a world where Theodore is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. Yeah, we gotta do this together. Yes, Lord Captain. Resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, please, let us leave the lower decks. The rogue trader desires to stretch his legs. There are far more suitable places.
What lies beyond?
What lies beyond? What a diabolical evil man I am. Ready for your orders, Captain. Can I still make it to here? We're going along on an adventure. Whatever you hear, Lord Captain? It's not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid field. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. Thing is more scrap heap than ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We were registering critical damage to the hull and depressurization of several compartments. Oh, there's an incoming transmission now, too. Hear us? Do not require assistance. Do not require assistance. Copy. Keep following. They'll pass by us, won't they? Protects. Oh, Lord Captain, I'm told our augurs cannot determine the allegiance of the vessel. To be brief, there is an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within the asteroid field near the Ricardiphilia colony. It's refusing help, which, not to put a fine point on it, has not been offered to them. Yes, Lord Captain, the connection is established. Vessel, unknown vessel, we're receiving you. Identify yourselves. I repeat, identify yourselves. Do not tell him. Tell him. We're done for. This is Thunderfang. We are merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are private merchant vessel. A merchant vessel? Of course they are. Damn my stupid head. Why did I hear that name before Thunderfang? Report damage to the unknown vessel. Telemetry shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridge has been almost completely obliterated. 2 of the engines are critically damaged. Somebody give them a thrashing so solid they barely managed to limp away. Why? I don't know. What if? Certainly not. Our vessel is badly damaged. Damage preventing the correct identification. We assure you, merchant vessel Thunderfang does not require aid. Thunderfang, your vessel is damaged badly. What happened to you? Vox responds by bursting into cacophony of sounds, words, and emotions. Someone chuckles bitterly, another swears with some foul expletives. We were just flying, minding our business, straight out of the blue, open fire. Miracle we could get away, Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks are left without our help. We never got to them. Thunderfang, stop playing business. Happy now? What have you done, idiot? It's too late now. Do you copy? We are from the Fellow of the Void. We did not come here to loot. Different business. Help our own out of jail. Do not hurt. I assume, please. We already had our Chronos cleansed. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of, goods. In case you're unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions. The Chronos Expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics solely because they sometimes have Vox conversations with those whom they are about to board. Were it up to me, I would make them eat a salvo from macro cannons to shake the scum loose from the decks. They certainly deserve it. I would wait on destroying the vessel if I were you. Although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward questions, the Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to the local market. Perhaps you would find dealing with them acceptable, especially in a situation where performing a warp jump is impossible. Thunderfang, prepare for commercial exchange. Oh? Oh? What does this mean? Hold on. So do I want to like trade them my stuff? Hide untradeable. Like this, and then trade? Well, okay, that's fun. So my relationship with them is up, I guess. A flamer? Oh my goodness. The wearer's ranged attacks. Jeez Louise. Power Maw. Soul Pattern Chainsword. Yeah? So I don't have the profit to get these things yet, huh? Interesting. Can I sell any of this stuff to them? Like, hey, do you guys want this? Cargo required. Or required cargo. Alright. You can transform useless items into cargo. I see. So all this is quest stuff, really. Alright, sure. Okay. Well, I got what I got, I guess. So we can just take all the things that... All right, not bad. Great. I think that's all I can do right now. Void ship management. What? I love that. Okay. We'll have to come back to this in the future. This is cool as shit. Tech use, that doesn't help me. Master of Maneuvers. Warp Channeler. Yeah, okay. I like that. Sure, that's fun. And the Shield Master? I mean, I guess I don't feel like you should be there. Maybe I'll get someone else in the future that can handle that. All right.